Alrighty, here we go. So, where's my other controller? I can find it. There it is. Hard to pick them up when you already have the goggles on. So, hey everybody. Welcome back to another fine adventure. We are going to be making, I believe, a spaceship today. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm going to try starting a little differently to how I have been in the past. And that is, I kind of want to just sketch, almost like paper again, a little bit of sort of an idea for what I might be making. Um, 1 second, hold on, I apologize. Okay. Yeah. So rather than start laying out physical forms, I'm going to kind of just play for a bit and see if I can find something that I might want to work on. So I don't have constrained align turned on. I don't have any of that stuff. I do have, actually, I'm going to low res myself a bit though. I do have just continuous and symmetry on, and I'm going to decrease the res to real low, so it's junk models, but we're just looking for forms. And this would be exactly what I would do in 2D were I working on a spaceship. Something like this, where I could see the silhouette, and then I would be like that, and then see how I felt about this whole thing. And I'm just drawing, and I'm not honestly giving it a tremendous amount of thought at this stage. It's much more about looking for happy accidents, Bob Ross in it, and seeing where that leads us. Making a bit longer there in the front, filling that shape in there. Did you guys ever build those Lego spaceships as a kid? There was like one that looked like this pretty much exactly. And I seem to come back to that form over and over again when I'm building. Clearly, it had a pretty strong impact on how I think about these things sort of visually. And yeah, it's kind of neat to see how you get attached fairly early on, a little not high enough res to do a really good line across there, but just something to sort of get an idea. Yeah, go a bit bigger, not that much bigger, and fill it in. And this has kind of got that like aggro fighter vibe to me in the front. Not so much a fighter, like I guess fighter in the jet sense of the word, like a one-man crew, but like a destroyer, some kind of like straightforward, aggressive combat ship. Again, 1 second, sorry. And yeah. Yeah, sorry. Personal life. Lots of interesting stuff going on. Just, good and bad. Okay. So yeah, this is kind of feeling like an aggressive frigate, sort of not a small ship, but not a large ship either. So maybe if we were thinking about this in terms of scale, a human might be about like that. If that's our person size, and you want to kind of be paying attention to that as you're doing it, so you stay reasonably scaled to where you're supposed to be. And I'm just sort of adding parts to it to see what would work. And And this is very sketchy. So if I were thinking of this like my mutants that I made earlier in the week, I might wind up doing 10 or 15 of these as thumbnails, just as part of the process to engage what I'd want it to look like. And now I think it's time to undo that. Let's cut into it a little bit as well. So we're not just adding parts, but we're gonna start evening things down, shrinking things out, thinking about our overall silhouette always, and the shapes that we're wanting to see in our vehicle or spaceship or whatever you want to call it. Okay. So then the next step is well, let me fill this in here too, so we have a solid. So there's our solid ship. Engines out the back, kind of beefy looking, like it. Front areas, a little bit of open space for visual interest. Some angled forms. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So that's a thumbnail ship that I would be interested in working on. Let's try something now, just for the heck of it. Let's see first off, let's see how big it is. I'm just curious where we're at. We're trivial. It's only 16,000. It's nothing. Cancel. But let's quick save. So we're saving our thing. So now, because it's so small, we have some cool options. Let's duplicate it and move our first one off to the side up here. So we can look at it, and we'll put it about the same height just for right now, and think about what we're going to do. And then we'll use this one as our model that we're going to actually play with. And see, we've scaled that one up a little bit too, but that's fine. So this is the one that we're going to build onto. This is layer 2. Yeah. So let's increase the res. And it's going to get junky a little bit, and increase the res again. Okay. So now I could actually start cutting into this, and our resolution will support it. So maybe the first thing we do is we start cleaning up this sketch and stay at the sketch a little bit. Maybe it's about time to turn on line constraint. So I know that I'm getting some solid, straight lines. Excuse me. And we're evening our form up. Yeah. And starting to give it some sense of machining as well as just sculpting, because we don't want it to feel like too much. We don't want it to feel like an organic shape. That's not what we're thinking of for this one. We want it to feel, like a constructed metal, traditional looking sort of spaceship. But we also want to keep the essential forms that we were working on before. So there will come a point where this is not going to work. But I think to start with, I'm just going to kind of smooth in. It's basically smoothing, right? But we're going to smooth in our imperfect, drawn out shapes so that it reads right. Let's go across the top. And I'm using a big brush still. If you want to call it a brush, a stamp. It's basically a brush though. Using a big brush. I'm not trying to make things accurate and tiny at this point yet. We're still Let's line up where I want it to be and see if that's about right. That's about right. Yeah. Not about accuracy yet. It's about just starting to get those forms in there. Oh, I never filled in the bottom. Let's fill in the bottom. I don't know we need to, but it gives us a solid shape. And so we're still, if we look here, there's ours, there's our reference. We're still reasonably in the same ballpark, but we're starting to add some form and some just second levels of detail, right? Yeah, line up. They're reasonably close. And soon we'll start adding additional shapes on top of this. So the next step to this is, for me, I think, to start kit bashing on top of our base form. Once we have our form where it needs to be, we can add to it in ways that make sense. And we need to obviously fill in that a bit more. But yeah, all right. Yeah, line up right. Cutting. Thinking about where things are going to end up. And again, I say this every time because it's still true. Concept art. This is not necessarily for final modeling. In fact, it is not even remotely for final modeling. It's just to get a form that I could take into Photoshop, or if I needed to, or in a hurry, just show the director straight and get a vibe if it's correct, if he's into it, he or she is into it. I'm trying to avoid using he. It's too bad that all of our directors tend to be guys for this sort of stuff, because it really shouldn't be. And yeah, nothing rocket sciencey here. Yeah, okay, maybe I cut that a little more than I would otherwise, but I'm probably going to refill it with greebly parts. So we're starting to get to where it looks like it has intent to it, as opposed to just me blobbing. While hopefully at the same time keeping as much of the energy of that initial sketch as I can. That's sort of my goal with this. And I guess time will tell to see if I succeed or not. Sorry, I'm getting another Facebook message. It's been a busy morning. Okay, it's all right. I hope it's all right. It's not. I'll hear about it later. Yeah, I want to keep the energy and the gesture line, essentially, if we were thinking in 2D, of the initial ship idea that I built, but I want it to feel constructed. And I would say, squint your eye at that thing, and then look at this thing, and they are definitely of the same family. At least as far as I'm concerned. And it's my ship. Can I fill that? There we go. That's even better. Yeah. All right. And we're looking down at our silhouettes. There's our frigate shape. Still looks aggro. Still has that forward-facing dart aggressiveness. And here was our original. Again, looking at the shadow. Yeah, we're keeping the gist of it. I mean, mine is a little pointier now, which is probably even better because I've shaved off some stuff. But we're going to also bring back some of that as well. And right now I'm honestly just carving out spots where I can put things back. So So all this like along here. I'm gonna probably add to it. Just put engine parts to it. And ditto there. Okay. And let's go underneath our nose again. Tighten that up. Okay. So let's save. And now we have a ship. If we were to look at the scale this thing is making, that block is 1 meter. So this is obviously, we're going to have to blow it up in scale. We're making it smaller than it would be, but we're also using less cubes. So like, that's fine. Let's try to start making it have a bit more visual interest while at the same time keeping to that. New layer. Increase the res. Fits around our ship just fine. Yep. And stamps. And we'll start with my custom shapes just because I enjoyed making them, and so we'll use them. These were those shapes that I built the other day in Gravity Sketch that I think we can use effectively here. To fill in our form and give us back some of that slightly more detail-oriented stuff. We don't want to make it too simple or too complicated, and we want to focus on areas of rest and areas of detail. It might be too long. I don't want to adjust too much away from my initial form. It's going up now, which it was not before. How do I feel about going up? I don't like it as much. Let's try to just move it, since we're still in the early stages. Oh, I'm not on. I was not on actively early, but I don't mind moving a little bit of that front. So, okay. So we've moved that. Now let's go back to clay. Pick a different tool. Get something angled. Use just that. It's literally just a stair step as far as I can tell. And I'm going to set it to single because I don't want to make a stroke with it really. I just want to fill in now like that. Okay. And then do the same thing but shrink it down. Go there. So there's a front end of our ship, and it's going to kind of read like that, I hope. We've got those side pieces here. Let's see, it's just slop. That there. And then something along that top space there. Even if it's just simple. Let's see if we can use that. And it gives us kind of a bird look that I think is always good for ships. Like, it's kind of have the, you look at the side, like there's an eye and a beak, or there's an eye, but you've got that kind of shape language that I think really works for spaceships. There, maybe? No. Trying it, but I don't like it. Maybe there? I'm okay with it there. And let's think about it on the bottom. My bottom's a little rougher than my top right now still, and that's, we can fix that, but it's still got that, like, I don't know, blobby shape form that the top is a little better about. So just something to keep in mind as we're going into it. Yeah, like that's not really great yet. So we're just reusing the same tool over and over again to increase our, you know, our shape language as much as can, but we don't want to be boring about it. So we want our shape language to be obvious, but not overused. Like you can always tell in Photoshop when somebody used one sexy custom brush for the entire vehicle or the entire whatever, and it just doesn't work. It feels overused and like you used one sexy brush and you weren't making with intent. So we're going to try to avoid that and make it have enough interest over time. I'm not sure what to do about that. I kind of like the ridges, but I kind of want to cut it out a little bit too. Let's see if we can get rid of the ridges. See how we feel. Do I like it better without the ridges? I think that's fine. And no, I don't like that though. I might honestly do that and line constraint and go away. Can I? I'm on the wrong layer. I'm also on single, not continuous. Go back to layer 2. Let's cut in a little bit, which is too much now. But now, if I go back to our new layer and do brush again, shrink it down. Can we do something like that? That'd do for us. Works okay, looks okay, looks all right to me. I'm kind of thinking we're all right here. Again, same kind of thing. So multi-overlapping forms is kind of going to be part of our design language for this ship. I do want them to kind of go in the same direction. So yeah, cool. Then let's do the same, but change forms on that edge. Let's give it some kind of an edging. See how this looks. Cool. Yep. All right. We'll put something on there here to hide that. Or we can just go back up here and erase that. And even maybe the same here, right here. Yep. Cool. So wing in place. Back to our new layer. It's not really a wing, obviously. It would bear no weight, but it's that wing language form that we seem to like a lot for spaceships. Give that there. And that there. I'm not even sure that is. I wonder if it's a zipper. Part of me's off. It's like, is that a zipper? Then I'm. But it's cool. So what is it? It's cool. And I'll take cool on this one. So again, repeating forms. Let's see how I feel about it here. All right. So they say when you're using brushes or colors in painting that, yes, you want to try to use a color at least 3 times in an image. If you're going to use it, some variant of it, like at least 3 times in the image. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for with these brushes too, is that if I'm going to use it, I want it to show up in some form at least a couple times so it cements it as being part of the intent. It doesn't always mean the same size, or like I've stretched it here and not there, or any of that kind of stuff, but that it's some sense of it has intent. I don't want to go out that far. No. Maybe no there. I'm going to do something else there yet. I've not yet found what I want that to be. But ship's coming along. We've covered up a lot of that sort of ugly whateverness. We need a little bit there, something there. I'm not sure what yet. Maybe just that. Maybe. Let's make it a bit bigger. Set it on the axis. There as we can. Not a bit bigger, but set it along the axis. There. Yeah, it's not hurting it as far as I'm concerned. I think I want it a little bit straighter though. I'd like it if it was more in line. Yeah, that's feeling better. Maybe even not up and down so much. So like that, but try to be more across. Cool. Like it. Fills it in, gives it form, something that, reads as right. Then again, maybe let's go to one shot there. And there on either side. But again, not angled up. Let's keep it across. Still reading good. Maybe a little too low. If we go up just a bit. Yeah. It's like making Photoshop strokes or painting. Make a stroke, check and see what it does. Look at it, see if you like it or not. Make another stroke. It's not about just filling things in willy-nilly. I just got to use the word willy-nilly. That's cool. Coming along. And yeah. And let's see. Yep. Maybe let's just do a hint of something in here. Sometimes it's just showing an edge of it can be as cool as using the whole brush. Just to kind of. Yeah, all right. I can dig on that. I'm going to leave this space, I think, pretty empty. I want to have some areas of rest. And this leaves me a place I can write like USF or whatever across the side. And it works for that. Let's go play with the engines. Go back to custom built. These are the shapes that I made before from greebles that I got other places, mostly. I'm going to go new. Don't delete that. I'm going to go new layer. And increase the res twice. And now let's see about making this big. Laying it out in a way that I can move it right. Okay. Now, move tool. Drag it. Cool. Works for me. Let's try something else. Duplicate, since it's on its own layer. Place it there. Cool. Yep. Now let's try to get fancy. Can I duplicate it? And move it like that. No, I didn't duplicate it. Duplicate it again. And move it to like there. And up a little. Okay. Oh, I got some junk. What level is that? Where's that junk coming from? Which layer is that? It's that last one. Okay. Well, let's just go back to clay and continuous cube. I don't know why that got up there. Just some weird artifacting, but okay, cool. Now, let's try to duplicate it again. And bring it to here. And up a little more. Liking those engines. That's feeling good to me. Got another new layer. Increase our res twice. Let's work in this area here. And maybe we'll stay in these shapes just for right now. See if there's something cool and then we want to use. Let's see if this shape. That's kind of neat looking. Make it as big as it'll go. Oh, I'm on continuous still. Let's go to single. We go that way instead. Or actually, no, I need to use that shape. We've used that below. I think if we use that shape again here to tie these engines in, down a little bit, a little bit more. That's going to make it feel like it belongs. I think it does, yes. I like that. And then maybe... That's feeling aggro as shit, which is cool. Looking like a good thing to me. Yeah, everyone can still see. I'm nervous now after like leaving a window open in front of my stream. I'm like, did I do it right? But yeah, I still think we're okay. Let's go with that shape. I like this shape. I don't know what it is. It's go back to I'm on single. Good. No, not liking it yet though. I need something a little more solid. That shape? That could be interesting. I don't know how I feel about those spikes out. Let's see if we go like I'm going in more. It gives us some form. It's kind of cool. Line it up a little better. A little more in. Patience. Stuff does not always work on the first time. But yeah, all right, those are cool. And they kind of go in like that, which is a neat thing. Need something there now. Let's shrink it down even a little more. And plop it in there. Cool. Cool. Kind of just giving it the once over again. So again, there's our original. There's our new one. It has the same basic forms. We've got those same two double window holes in the top and the front end. Same big engine block in the back. I think it's reading pretty well. I'm liking it. Maybe I'm gonna do that piece there too now. And this is still a little blobby. I'm not sure what our best option is to fix that. I'm gonna let's try this shape, but on continuous with a line constraint. And I want to line it up right, not off. I don't know why it goes off like that. I don't know how to line them up when I import them properly yet. And if there is a way, I need to figure that out. Okay, I know that goes too far, but now I can just square and because it's on its new layer, erase and fill that in there. And That makes it feel a little better to me. And let's go back to that same shape again. Turn back online. And gotta realign it up again. It seems like it's even still, let's see. Can I go? It's not exact, but concept art, I think it'll work. Let's try it one more time. There we go. Cool. Didn't affect the silhouette any, but gives us that side read. Now we see how just blobby and crap that is. It's crap. So we need to fix that. Let's try one of these. I'm just curious. Shrink it down. Go to single. Move it over. And let's see if it's how it feels about. How do you feel about that? Maybe more vertical. And not hating it. I don't know that I want it to be. I think I want it to be on line, continuous. Let's line it up again. Like that. And see, this is what happens when you're not going vertical on it. You get some weird shapes. Still some weird shapes. I'm not right yet. That feels better to me. Yeah, that seems better. Don't like it. I want something more, maybe that way. Too big. No, I think we're just going to use something in there. We need just like a greebly part. We have yet to find what it's going to be yet. That I like. In general, I like this part. I've used it before. Yeah, that's the part. We're going with the matrix sort of side engine generator thing. I don't know. That's what I always think of when I see this. Obviously, it doesn't have to be that. It can be anything, but that's what I think of when I see it. Let's put another one in here too. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Liking it, liking it, liking it. Liking the front. Not liking that. Whoa, that's good. Whoa, we're way back. Oh, not on the right layer. Maybe we'll just fill instead. I was going to smooth it, but let's Mickey just put a covering on it. Give it something. Maybe this shape again. I do like this shape. Yeah, all right. That shape works for me. And then you can even go that even a bit bigger out. Okay, yeah, it's almost like it's a door now, which is, I suppose, what it's supposed to be. So just filling it in with bullshit. But so maybe that's our landing hatch door for this thing. It comes down, that comes down. Do we want to fill in this back area? I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it. I don't think you're going to see it that often. I mean, certainly not in anything I'm going to do. And it might be cool just to leave it. Give that something in there. Ugh, I don't like that though. I didn't even notice. Is it? Yeah, it's on this layer. But that's cool. Shrink it down because I think there might be something else kind of nearby. There we go. Get rid of those. So we've gotten rid of the worst offenders of the blobbies. There's a little bit of blobby there still. Maybe we can fill that even just with a line, continuous. See if we can keep it, literally just use a cube. Not every piece has to be exciting. It's too big, but yeah, I think we can use the cube though. So I didn't shrink it any. It was too big, Seth. Okay, yep. Right. And then let's just, for the grins and giggles of it, get them there. And again, for the grins and giggles of it, something there. So we have covered the curvature. And like, it's pretty interesting to see how we've gone from that as our initial sketch idea to that in a relatively short amount of time. Save. Like, this was not a lot of work to make it here, but I think you can see that we kept our sketch, and now we have something that feels to me, this feels very Star Wars-y to me. This front a little less so, but this part feels very Star Wars to me. Here, if I were to probably narrow that down a bit or increase along the bottom here just a tad, it might feel a bit more Star Wars-y. So let's just see. I don't know that it needs to, but I like that. That's cool. I don't know about that. Is that our first initial layer? It might be. Is it layer 2? Yes. So go back to layer 2. And I'm just going to erase that. Like, honestly, I don't think we're using much of layer 2 anymore, are we? No, we're still there. You can still see that was what our original was. So there's still parts of that original ship that are there. But I think we've gotten rid of a lot of it. And this is still bugging me. No. No, single. Let's try single. Oh, just no. Although kind of neat, but I just want to make that feel less race. Although I'm already liking it more, so maybe I'll. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we got rid of that like weird bumpy part, and now we've got an added layer of something. Yeah, I like that. Um, Star Wars terminology, that's where your astromech droids go. Probably 3 or 4, right? So it'll have like a bay of astromechs since it's much bigger than an X-wing. That'd be kind of neat. I've never seen that before. Do you need more than one astromech droid? Just gonna do something here. I think we're just gonna do that. Shrink it down. I'm on single, right? Yep. Might need to be higher res for that. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. That'd be why. There we go. No. This might be a challenging thing I want the area to fill for me. So I want it to be cool, but I don't want it to be over the top. I think maybe a circle thing is not the right idea because I think it may kind of bullseye it a little bit. But so let's see what happens if I'm kind of just gonna maybe fill it. Let's see if we can fill it with something that has maybe a little visual interest. My handy dandy, trusty rusty missile pod system. I'm gonna line it up as close as we can. There, no, further in. Actually, I'm going to, just to be sure, new layer. Increase the res twice. Fill that in. Go with the move tool. Okay, sure. And go with the clay tool. Nuke that off. That's better. Yeah, I like that more. And oh, that's still pretty blobby along there. I hadn't even noticed that. Let's do a little bit of cleanup there. Let's try layer 2. Yeah. And just cut. No, I don't want to do that because I want to use a square. Just gives me more control with the square. Okay, that's better. And no, too powerful. Strength down, and we want it to fill. We don't want it to erase out. You're not filling. Now I feel. Let's smooth it in a little bit more even than that. This is kind of neat. All right. Yeah, I don't hate it. That in. Just give it a little bit of like ideation kind of shape sort of thing. Like it's just like a mechanical bit. And I'm going to nuke it, I think, here. If I do that, then back on layer 9, let's fill it with that shape and kind of bigger. Is that as big as it gets? Oh, no, it's not. I can make it much bigger than that. Okay. That. No. Does it work better the other way? Yes, it does. Yeah, cool. Kind of almost feels sort of weapony or like an ear if we're going with, again, that anthropomorphization. I don't think we're going to put giant missile pods or anything on it. I think we're going to assume weapons are like, tinier because this is a big enough ship that you wouldn't necessarily see that. Yeah. And I think I'm going to call this one as a ship. Let's just turn off layer 1. Actually, I'm just going to delete layer 1. Save our thing. Save. That's what our polys are. We're at 10 million polys. It's not bad. So export. Da, 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 da. I'm so glad that the controllers work today. I replaced the batteries and it definitely was the problem yesterday. They are way happier now. Yeah, all right. So there is our corvette, right? That's the term for an attack frigate or something. It's a corvette, I believe. But yeah, there's our corvette. I will take it into the key shot and give it some simple textures just to see what it would look like, and I'll post it up in the next couple minutes. All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me. And if you didn't get it live, all these are available on YouTube in my channel afterward. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.